Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Skullgirls Get Gr8. This is the audio test we will be starting soon. Please let me know if any of the commentators this week are a little too loud or a little too quiet. We want all of us to be about equally as loud. I shouldn't say all of us, it's just me. But the game should be just barely audible. If there are any recommendations that you would like to provide, please feel free to do so. We want the stream to be just perfect for you. I got that groovy energy today. I don't know why. Alright, Hammy, I'll fight you for a second. Give me a moment. Hello, Darkrai, how's it going? Hey there, Leela. Nice to see you here. Grand Geek? I know you haven't signed up for one of these in years. Alright, okay, cool. So you have signed up for some of these before, right? Because I knew I recognized you. I'm like, I don't know if you you were a viewer, if you played before. It sounded like you played before, and then in your comment you mentioned like how you haven't played in years. I'm like, yeah, you were on thing. You were a thing. It's great. Cloudmaster, we've been on time more often than not. Like the past, the only times we were not on time is when I worked for my old company, and I did that for the last like 2-ish years. I don't know. The first year and this current year, we've been pretty good at being on time. Occasionally late, but be good about it otherwise. Okay, there's Ollie. Who else? We got Kuistock. Let's see. I used to go by different names. Zeris sounds more... Oh, wait. Zeris something. Yes. It was like a Pokemon... It was like Trainer Zeris or something, right? Because you were like a Pokemon trainer or something? Like Zeris wearing like Ash's hat? I thought that was a thing. Yeah, buddy. I knew it! I remember the squad! Alright. So last time we were late was when Kenji had to come. Yeah, that was completely in an emergency. Like, literally Kenji found out like 15 minutes before or something like that. It was ridiculously rushed. Kenji's a real one for covering me for like that. Kenji's like super smart. Like, I'm really happy we have him on stream. Penny's super talented also. She's a lab monster, knows almost everything about every character. It's good stuff. I exist because I have a voice. It's pretty cool. Random question, do you have any tips on helping out lower level player get better when you are fighting against them? Yeah, don't overwhelm them with information. Don't tell them about stuff. Tell them about just buttons. Tell them about like techniques and things, like push blocking more. Don't tell them about absolute guard or anything like that. Just push block more. Try to convince them to switch their guard from high to low and how they should be down backing more often than up backing or something like that. Start convincing them to start the strings on lights and ending on mediums. I actually have a TCM lecture today. Pretty much do exactly what I'm about to do to, I think it's 25 Midnight. Pretty much everything I tell 25 Midnight, try the same thing on a beginner level player. Other than that, it's on a case-by-case basis, because different players learn at different rates, right? Your version of a beginner might be very different than mine. Which other thing you should work on? I mostly... Yeah. Alright, Hammy, let's fight for a little bit, I guess, because why not? I think I have my stick here. Hopefully everything still works. Let's find out what happens. Meanwhile, in chat, let me know what you guys think about Elgato announcing the probably only noteworthy competitor to the Blue Snowball. Yetis I didn't like too much. They were a little bit too sensitive to desk sound. They didn't filter out noise very good. I think Elgato's going to be a lot better about that. They show off their internal like stuff in their trailer stuff, like the cough covers and all that stuff. It's really cool. Maybe. I don't know. I'm a bit of an audiophile. Like I haven't gone ham, but like I know my way around a soundboard and understand frequencies and things like that. And it's been a while since I've had to get a new mic because nothing really beats out the blue. Okay, so you play Beowulf, Hammy. I have a question for you. I have a question for all Beowulf players. Is there a visual indicator that makes medium DP and HDP look different in the corner? Very well. I don't have meter. I just kind of set myself up to get hurt. Oh, that's bad. Okay. Oh my god, I'm slightly too high on dizzy. It sucks. Alright. There's a lot of awkward improvisation at the end. I really don't know how to fight solos. It's kind of interesting. We'll play a couple more. and then we'll go ahead and get started with the stream. Reminder that this is the audio test. Please let me know if anything sounds a little wonky, if I'm a little too quiet, or if the game audio is drowning me out, or just can't be heard at all. Now is the time to tell me. Oh, this is gonna suck. Oops. Oops. This is a lot of clumsy. Shouldn't be doing that. Bad. That's gonna be awkward. Yeah. Squiggly robo-zoning is funny. Banned robo-zoning is even funnier. Although no one besides me, I think, really thinks it's a real thing. I legitimately think crouching hard punch is Banned's best move, and no one ever actually believes me. And I understand them. It's completely understandable. I'm dropping really simple ones. Weird. Okay. Very well. Very well. Surprise. Oh, no surprise. Oh, this is awkward. Nah, that's fine. This is fine. Everything's fine. Very well. Oh, this is awkward. You gonna snap me? Oh, no. Okay. Oh, I wanted a magnet. Super there and grab you out of the air. That would've been fun. Surprise. Oh. Alright, good games. Let's get this show on the road. You can see my mouse? Mouse on screen on stream. God damn it, OBS. Why can't you just work? Let's see. Oh, actually, that might be on purpose. Let me double check on that, though. Yeah, capture cursor is on. We're gonna go ahead and remove that. Cool. You guys should be good. Let me go here and double check on that. Do not capture cursor. Okay, cool. Alright, awesome. Are we waiting on someone? No, we're about to get started. So, just 1 second. We're gonna return to the lobby. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Skullgirls Get Gr8. What we do here is we try to match up against a relatively even opponent, and then provide constructive criticism on your play. We won't tell you everything that's wrong with your play, because that's completely pointless. We will tell you what you need to focus on most, and also give you a few extra tips here and there as we see it and think of it. Just so you have something sort of intermediate or advanced as a goal in the back of your mind, so you can slowly build up. So as you attend and practice every single week, or as many weeks as you possibly can, slowly but steadily you'll build up a repertoire of Skullgirls knowledge that will help you out and, I don't know, get you to the next level of play. So, yeah. If you are participating today, please join the Steam group chat. If you if you don't know how to join the Steam group chat, you can find it by typing !Ggh chat into Twitch chat. That will provide a link. That is the place you can use to communicate to me about logistics. If you don't know how to get in the lobby, or are struggling for any reason, or have any other technical difficulties, if you have a bad connection with your opponent and would like to request a split so that someone with a better connection fights you, talk to me in there. That is the only place I can guarantee I will see that request. I will try to look in other places, but I can't promise I will see it. What else? What else? I'm sure there's something else I'm forgetting, but that's fine. I think we are ready to get started. So, first up today is going to be 25 Midnight versus TCM Lecture. Now, I think TMO was asking how do you give advice to a beginner. Basically exactly what I'm about to show you. This is not a real fight. I mean, I want them to fight me as though it's a real fight. I want, like, 25 Midnight, I hope you're listening. Fight me as, like, to the best of your ability. Your goal is to try and kill me. And if you kill me, awesome. Like, that's what you should be doing. I'm going to be tunnel visioning into doing only one specific challenging aspect of Skullgirls at a time, so you get a blunt of practice against one specific thing that players struggle with. And the entire idea is to give you, like, a full platter of, like, hey, this is what you can expect in Skullgirls. This is what the game's going to be like. These are the toughest things you're going to need to deal with before you can really hit that next level of play. So, let's go ahead and get started. My throat is dry. Okay, 25 Midnight. Are you in chat? Let's see, Twitch. Chat. Yes, you are here. Okay, cool. So I know you're hearing me. Reminder, if you are playing today, please pause the stream while you're playing. Do not be downloading something. Do not be watching something in the background. I want you to play to the best of your ability, and nothing should be taken away from your connection. That also means you should not be playing on Wi-Fi. If you are playing on Wi-Fi, that's fine. I understand. To some people, it's like kind of difficult to switch off, but it is not a good option. Out of respect for your opponent, make sure you're playing on a Ethernet cable. It's a more stable connection. It's not about speed. It's about stability. And no matter how good you think your Wi-Fi is, it's inherently part of the network that, or part of the infrastructure that doesn't have stability. So, make sure you're playing on Ethernet, make sure you pause the stream, make sure you're setting your appropriate Ggpo settings. I recommend not much higher than 1 or 2, and like 1 per every 80 ping. So like me and Midnight have 49, so I'm gonna play at 0, which is the best. What else? I don't know, that should be it. Okay, Midnight, let's go ahead and get started. Reminder that the VODs go up right after the stream. So once we are in the game, you can pause the stream and then watch the VODs afterwards, and you'll find out what's gonna happen. If I need you, you're free. Oh, awesome. Nice to hear. I think we're good. I don't think we have any open lobbies, but I will hit you up just in case. Okay, let's go. So these are the things I'm gonna teach you in this order. All right. I really hope I don't blow my voice out. Okay, so these are the things I'm gonna teach you in this order. It's gonna be low throws. No, sorry, not in this order. It's gonna be overhead low, then it's gonna be low throws, then it's gonna be armor, and then it's going to be what am I forgetting? Projectile zoning. Yeah. So I'm gonna talk about low throws. What the heck am I trying to say? Low overheads, low throws, armor, and projectile zoning in that order. These are the hardest things that you're gonna have to worry about. All right, so let's go. Let's go. Let's go. And ideally, you don't get caught by this. There's a very reasonable chance that you just beat me, and if you beat me, awesome job. Then you don't need to worry about it as much, but it's still something you need to be wary of at the very least. I'm just gonna throw this out there. Yeah, okay. I wanted to see if that worked. Okay. Okay. Good. You switched from low to high. It took 3 hits, but that's fine. And you switched from high to low. You didn't overcommit to the high. I respect that. Oops. That was just bad input on my part. That was not part of the lesson. Come on. Very good. Got me out of it. There is a 4-frame gap, so if I'm not perfect, it turns into a 6-frame or 7-frame gap, and then you can grab me out of it. That's not something. That's not like something you should always be trying to do. But if you see that I'm not executing properly, then that's one way to take advantage of it. Notice how I was able to perfectly guess whether you're going to be going low or overhead, right? So that's something that you will learn about later. It's about Yomi, conditioning, all that stuff. It's basically I taught you, and I saw how long it took you to adapt to aim in the different direction, or to block in a different direction, and then I was able to switch my attacks appropriately. And once it's in your mind, it's like, oh, this guy's switching between high and low. Now I know you're going to start switching faster, so I start making smaller and smaller gaps, and then trick you appropriately. You can go back and watch. At first I went overhead 3 times, then like 10 times, and then once I realized that you like down backing a lot, and then when I started seeing you switch more, I started going overhead only twice before going to low, and I started going only like every other hit low and overhead and things like that. So as soon as I feel like you're gonna learn a pattern, I take advantage of it. Now we're gonna I'm gonna try to kill 2 birds with 1 stone because I only have 1 match to really do this. I'm gonna teach you about armor and lows and throws. I'm gonna hopefully be able to pull it off on each of the individual characters, but we'll see what happens. But anyways, so you were switching your guard. That's good. Switch your guard faster, and also eventually you will be able to react to the overhead. There are very few unreactable overheads, like instant overheads in this game. Most overheads you can react to. Squiggly's forward heavy punch is 22 frames. It's hard to react to. If you don't know frame data, don't worry about it right now. It's hard to react to, but you will be able to do it eventually. So start keeping an eye open for that. Try to switch on reaction. You need to start building that. It will take months, but eventually it will pay off. Okay. Okay, good push block. Awesome, you push block. I'm gonna explain why this is good in a bit. Okay, so now I'm gonna teach you with armor, how to deal with armor, because Robo's a good character to teach that about, too. Good, you blocked and then did it and then tried to punish. You have the right mindset. I do like that you're not just trying to press buttons to... well, I mean, okay, that's not completely true. You are pressing buttons, but... I guess people can play that game. I respect that. I can go back to low throws. Yeah, okay. So, let me explain why low throws are really good. When you're blocking low, you can't tech a grab, right? So, and you can't... So the best ways to deal with... Let me go backwards a little bit, right? The best ways to deal with a grab is to either jump. You can't be ground grabbed when you are jumping, unless it's an anti-air grab. Or to tech the throw, right? Like to press tag within 20 frames of someone else pressing tag. And if you again, if you don't know frame data, don't worry about it. I don't really try to teach frame data until intermediate level. So why low throws work is that if you are down backing, you can't tech a throw. And the reason that is because... Oh, and also you can't be jumping, right? Obviously, because you're holding down. So that way you are guaranteed to be grabbed if I use grab. And if I go low, you have to block it. And if you stand or jump or try to tech a throw and I go low, then you get hit instead, right? Because my low comes out faster. Sort of. It's complicated, but like basically that's why it works. And the reason you can't tech a throw when you are down backing is because you can only tech a throw when you're able to input a throw. Now I'm going to say that again. You can only tech a throw when you can input a throw. Now, next time you're in the training mode or whatever, try to hold down back and try to input throw, and you'll realize no grab comes out. You don't get a grab, you're holding down back. That's really mind-blowing to a lot of new players, I know that. And if you didn't think it's like, well, duh, that's obvious, then great, ignore that part. But like that's something you have to understand. So because of that, lows and throws are a very, very powerful mix-up. Something else you might have seen me do is I tick through. That wasn't necessarily a part of the lesson, but that was something I tried to do. Tick throwing is putting you in block stun, and then you recover just as my grab's about to get you. So unless you're holding up or like up back or like all sorts of different other things, you're going to get thrown. And then that's how I put you in the corner, and that's when I started my low throw mix-up games on you. And if you feel like I'm brushing over stuff, or if you feel like I'm going too fast, feel free to reach out to me with the timestamp on this VOD, and I will gladly explain things in more detail. But this is something you're gonna have to get used to doing. You're gonna have to start jumping to avoid throws, so you can punish me in the air. You're gonna have to start it's like switching between low and from low to standing block if you see my grab and want to tech it. Things like that. Like there's a lot to deal with there. Low throws are very, very powerful. One common way to deal with it that's super trivial and kind of scary and risky is up forwarding. If you try to jump forward past me, you won't get put into pre-block, and the low is much less likely to hit you. Oops, I didn't get what I wanted. Yeah, it's not easy to do. I know. Okay, so I saw you try to reversal there with a super. Your beam super has a lot of startup, which means it's slow to get into effect. And that means I can just beat you out like that. You can't just throw that super out. It's a risky super. So, now, like, we're done here, but I'm going to talk about what that lesson was. So, zoning in Skullgirls is very, very powerful, in case it's not obvious, right? So, zoning... I can put all sorts of stuff on the screen and deal with it. Now, there is no easy answer to zoning. There is a blind spot, and I'm going to post that into Twitch chat. Just give me one moment. That is Peacock Dead Zone. Here you go. So here is one way to deal with Peacock zoning. And it also uses Valentine, which is your character, so that should help you out, right? It also has a full screen assist, I think, as an example, and you run beam assist, I think, I hope. So that should help you out, too. So dealing with zoning is tricky. It's not simple. It is very, very powerful. And what you have to do is you have to get used to keeping an eye on the pattern your opponent is using and trying to weave your way through. Also, characters have specific options. For example, Eliza has an attack that is armored against projectiles only, so that kind of stuff helps. But in general, there's you have to if you use a light beam, it'll tear through my bombs. And if you use standing heavy punch with Robo, you will armor through one projectile and then you can cancel into L-beam to break through multiple projectiles. There's lots of strategies like that are character specific. But more in general, you want to focus on neutral jumping, then forward jumping, so you use your second jump to get over, or using bypass to cover a lot of distance and things like that. But there's one very, very important thing, and it's called dash blocking. There's a lot of movement options in Skullgirls, and dash blocking is one of the most important ones. Now, Skullgirls, I don't think, is the only game that can do this, but I think Eunice also allows this. I don't know how this works. But basically, if you input dash and then start holding back, the entire run animation forward, you are actually blocking. So you're able to block while dashing. That lets you cover spaces safely, right? So the best way to do that is if you press light punch and medium punch at the same time, you will get a dash input. So what you do is you press light punch and medium punch, and then just as you see your character start to run forward, you start holding back. You can't be holding back right away, otherwise you'll dash backwards and then you'll just get hit. But if you start dashing forward and then hold backwards afterwards, you can block while covering some space as you walk into the projectiles almost, right? But you're blocking, so it's okay, right? None of those projectiles specifically hit low. I think there's only... How many projectiles are there that hit low? I think there's only one, right? Syria Tremolo? Or just Tremolo in general? Actually, is regular Tremolo even a projectile? Probably. I don't know. But, that's not anything Peacock or Robo related, right? That is the universal Eunice round start. What, block dashing? DBZ, you can also block dash? That's crazy. Really? Really? DBZ? I didn't know that. What is the route for Bella if I can't do jumping light punch? I am the wrong person to ask. You're gonna have to ask Penny. And what do you mean you can't do jumping light punch? Yeah, you're gonna have to ask Penny. If you want Bella specific routes and stuff, the wiki is your best friend and Penny's your best friend. I am not the best resource on that. Sam's got you though. That's what I'm talking about. Hello, Sam. Never mind, Sam does not have you at all. Sam has let us all down. That being said, thank you for playing Midnight. You did fantastic. There were a lot of things you were doing right. I didn't have to talk about push blocking. You were push blocking already. I didn't have to talk too much about like using lights to punish because that's what you were doing. You tried to dash up grab a little bit too much. When you realized it wasn't working, you should have switched to dashing up and doing the light. It's a little faster. And just so you know, the low throws were something you seem to struggle with more than anything else. One more trick to remember is that you can't be grabbed when you're in block stun or hit stun. That means if you manage to push block me, the entire push block animation, you can't be grabbed because you're considered you're in block stun. Now, that's a little bit technical, and if that's hard to grasp, that's okay. Don't worry about it right now. But just know that you have a lot of options to work around these setups, but it only gets trickier from there, right? So these are the fundamental things that you need to be able to deal with before you start dealing with the more complex pressure setups that a lot of other teams have. So hopefully that was enough to get your feet wet. Hopefully that was some eye-opening experience, maybe at least a little bit, so that you know, like, all right, this is what Skullgirls is. Good luck. But as you like start coming back and start playing against more and more people, you'll slowly learn over the span of several months, or maybe several days if you're super talented, how to deal with these kinds of things and how to just feel more naturally comfortable in those kinds of situations, so it's not super high pressure. So yeah, best of luck to you. Next up, we're going to go ahead and get Ggpo versus Laharl's Blade. Laharl's Blade? Laharl's Blade? I don't know. Blade. It's going to be Ggpo versus Blade. Really helped a lot. I'm glad that helped. Make sure you go back and watch the VOD. I hope you weren't listening while you were playing, because otherwise that's no good. But hopefully you can go back and watch the VODs, pause every now and then, maybe listen to a few things twice if you need to, and see if you can grasp some stuff. Watch VODs. Hell yeah. Alright, my throat is actually killing me. I'll be right back. Alright, here we are. Let's go. Okay, accidental parry. I know you were just up forwarding, but that's cool. So this is like advanced, not even advanced. This is like low intermediate advice, I guess, because it's like about cleaning up inputs. So something I want to point out that you did right on Blade is that because you got parry before you got your jump forward light kick, that implies that you press forward before you press up forward, and that's good, believe it or not. Ideally, you hit only up forward, right? But it's all infinitely better than the most common like struggle, where people will press up before up forward instead of forward before up forward. And the reason that's important is because you can always buffer a forward after an up forward, or sorry, buffer a up forward after a forward. But if you press up before you press up forward, then you only have 4 frames of jump startup to quickly change your direction to up forward. If that doesn't make sense, don't worry about it. Just know you're doing something right. Okay, got the overhead. That makes up a little. That looked like medium. I don't know if that was light. Light is usually faster than that, I think. Use light because it's faster. Medium is best used for conversions because like if your opponent's too far away, medium pulls them closer to you. In general, though, ending your pressure on an overhead is risky, in my personal opinion. It's kind of... You have to say you weren't expecting the 3rd day of the wedding to be Skullgirls themed? Yeah, I wish. No, I just kind of ditched the wedding. I ended it early. I said I was going to leave around 2 because I had obligations. I managed to convince them to let me leave. Okay, so I think that was one good game of like band advice. Like, ending your pressure on Giant Step is unsafe, because eventually your opponent will be able to block it on reaction, and that's a problem. Obviously, because you're unsafe and you get counter hit. It's a sad news band. If you are pressing buttons and you notice your opponent is blocking, don't go past the medium. Band has a few extra exceptions to that, because Band's able to get mental advantage, but you don't need to go past the crouching medium kick. So you should go crouching light kick, crouching medium kick, and then stop. and then you're -3, and that's fine. If you do go into a heavy, you have to make it safe with the special. You can either frame trap into an armored brass or something like that, or go into giant stuff like you have been. Alternatively, you can also go into light brass, which is something I do a lot. If I go into standing heavy kick, for example, then I'll be like, ah, crap, I overcommitted. I'll go into light brass, and that makes it safe. Well, makes it safe against most people. It's -5. And if you don't know frame data, again, don't worry about it until intermediate. Not important. It's -6. I don't actually know. So, after you get that wall bounce, you actually can convert with crouching medium punch instead. In fact, you can even convert with crouching hard kick, and that's the optimal route. If you don't want to deal with the optimal route, it's a little bit harder. Or which is a little bit harder. Go ahead and use crouching medium punch. Use both. It's a crouching medium punch into HDP. That's a better route there. Okay, let's talk about the other team. So, alright, well, I mean, I can't talk about the other team. You're dead. That's not good. That's not good. Alright. Can Fearless 5 from jab punish a 5-frame move? On paper, yes. In case of Band, no. And the reason for that is Band's light brass puts him a little bit too far away to be punished. He can be punished by Bella's 4-frame grab. It does reach far enough. They do not play best of 5. They play 3 flat games today. Normally we play 5 flat games if we have less than 12 people, but we have more than 12 people. And our brain cells can't take that, and nor can our daily schedules, because that will be a 5-hour stream. Okay, so affiliate point. It's a Ryoko skin or something? I don't know. Anime. Alright, cool. When it was jumping hard punch. So, use the instant hair dash tech. I don't recommend it. I know the game teaches you that in the tutorial. Because it's a good way to, it's a good entry into instant air dashing for pressure. So instant air dashing, IAD for people who aren't familiar, is you press dash or input dash as fast as possible as soon as you're off the ground. With button dashing in this game, which means you can press light punch and medium punch and dash, that means you can do it almost instantly, right? Like just as you're off the ground, press 2 light punch and medium punch, you'll get a forward dash in the air, and then you press heavy punch, which gets you the instant hair dash. But heavy punches are heavy, which means they're slow. And also, if you actually take a look at their hitbox, it actually hits like slightly diagonally upward and in front of her, which generally means that it's better air to air than actually against an opponent on the ground. Band's big, so it doesn't matter that much, but it does mean that you do need to use like a light or a medium. Like using light kick or jumping medium punch to break their armor or something like that is much better as an instant air dash option. So use jumping light kick, use sometimes even jumping light punch. I know a lot of people recommend that. I think jumping light kick is the god button, followed by jumping medium punch. So try to do instant air dash with those instead. Okay. I honestly, I was like watching the Squiggly the entire time and I didn't have that much to say. Yeah. I don't know. I didn't have that much to say about Squiggly. It seems like just you seemed a little bit too aggressive with her. I know. All right. So like, okay. So here's one thing I can say. You were so quick to try and turn things into your turn. You can't really afford to do that with Squiggly. Squiggly doesn't have too many defensive options and doesn't have a reliable DP, right? So you might be eager to get the pressure off of you, but this is the hard part, right? So, well, for Squiggly specifically, it's the hard part. So when you SBO'd in response to their brass, there's a lot of things they could have done that would have just completely destroyed you. Not only did it not work out in your favor, but they could have gone into SSJ and playing, depending on what team they were playing, they could also like convert off of that. Like if they were running Pinion Assist, which is very common for Band. I shouldn't say very common, it's like somewhat common. Not everyone wants to play Painwheel, so it's like not as common as it otherwise would be. But like you could have lost like the vast majority of your character's life if you trade with brass or like get hit by brass, because DHC or super canceling in SSJ is a big deal and it's scary. Daisy, you weren't using it, so thank God. But I just want to warn you, Daisy is also not an option. Daisy is not a good reversal. And against Band specifically, after they've committed past the heavy, you can use it if they don't have 3 meter. But now that's a lot you have to keep track of, right? And right now you don't want to worry about that. That's a lot to keep track of, like watching the meter that your opponent has, making sure that they've gone into a heavy, so you're watching what buttons they're pressing. Like, don't worry about that. What you need to worry about is what everyone in the beginner bracket needs to worry about, and that's learning a B and B. Oh, hey there, Wing Zero. How's it going? Good to see you. Oh yeah, Pog Wheel does sound pretty cursed. Dang. Man, it's been a minute. God, that's true. Because like we normally would get to see each other at Combo Breaker. That's dead. Rest in peace. Okay, so yeah, so all of you guys should be learning a combo. Now, there are a couple of resources you can use for a combo. The one I like to recommend is the B&B Compendium. If you type !B&B into Twitch chat, you'll receive a link to the B&B Compendium. Now, these are not the most optimized combos by any means. Oh, Taku's ripped too? No! It's confirmed canceled? I mean, I guess they should. Yeah, Florida kind of screwed up big time. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about tournaments in a bit. But yeah, so check out the B&B Compendium. It is not the most optimized set of combos, but they are the combos that are going to help you practice the most essential links to... what the heck am I saying? They're going to help you practice most essential links that are going to be necessary to get familiar with your character. So the reason I ask you to learn a B&B first is not because combos are the best thing in the world and they do a lot of damage. I mean, both of those are true, but the more important, well, maybe the latter is true, but the more important reason is because you just need to be more familiar with the character. You're not instinctually using the right buttons. You're not converting off of the hit confirms that you do get fully. So just getting used to the spacing, just getting used to the feel of your character, just building the muscle memory for your character comes fastest if you just learn a B&B. What I personally recommend is learning a B&B and practicing it 10 times in a row against each character weight at the very minimum, if not every character, facing both directions. That means be able to do your combo facing left, be able to do your combo facing right, and then you're good to go. Always, of course, that doesn't mean you shouldn't be playing games against people until you learn a B&B. It does mean, though, you are practicing and making sure you are consistent with it. It is essential. So if you are a part of the beginner bracket, that is the #1 bit of advice I have for you. Please, please, please learn a B&B. There are other very, very useful resources, such as the Mizumi Wiki, which I don't have a link handy for, but the Mizumi Wiki is now an incredible resource for Skullgirls and is very quickly making every other resource extremely outdated. So check out the Mizumi Wiki for Skullgirls. That is very, very important. Thank you very much, your local dunce, for linking that in chat. I appreciate that. Next up on stream is going to be Leafree TV versus Hammy. So if Hammy and Leafree could go ahead and start... Leafree? Leafree. I don't know why, but every time I read that name, it sounds to me of a Freaka TV. I don't know. So Leafree, go ahead and join, and Hammy, go ahead and join. We'll go ahead and get started with the next match. Oh yeah, tournaments. Okay, cool. So CEO Taku has not been confirmed yet. Nonetheless, it's probably very reckless to host anything like that. See, this is one of the things that, like, I don't want to get too topical about current events in the stream right now because it sucks and no one wants to think about it. But the funniest thing to me is that Americans seem to have this like conception that like once you're bored of the corona, it disappears or something like that. Like everyone was like super into the whole lockdown, just being like, oh my god, this is horrible. Like we gotta protect the people and like make sure all the rates go down and all that stuff. And then suddenly everyone's like, I'm bored. Like it's fine. Like, I'm just gonna go out and die. And the thing is, like, people are like, oh yeah, I'm willing to take the risk. Like, you know, whatever happens, happens. That's, like, the most common response to that. And that makes no sense, because this doesn't affect people as an individual. This affects society as a whole, right? So, like, you don't get to get bored of the corona. That's not an option. You don't get to get tired of the corona situation. We all have to work together to make sure this thing passes. And until we work together and all start obeying the rules and stop acting entitled, like, this is not gonna go away. Yeah, a lot of countries are letting things open up again, and that's so dumb. It's so stupid. I follow one of the mathematicians, I've followed her for several years, that designed the reopening plan, like the phased reopening plan, and they, like, skipped all of the important steps to be able to reopen. They're just like, we can just wait a month instead, and then just waited a month instead of doing all the required essentials before they can hit the flag. Alright, it's time to open up the next phase of stores. But, nah, they dumb. Anyway, back to this. Alright, so we got Eliza doing Eliza things. Hey, oh wow, almost a combo. Oh, you went for a reset too. You got the air dash, re-jump, reset, and air dash. Good stuff. Playing out Excel to try and catch it on. I respect it. stuff. You're getting there. So you keep practicing your B&B. You're getting there. I respect it. On Bayo's side, I see you're having like a lot of trouble like opening up Eliza. A lot of it comes down to the fact that, like Amy, you're pressing buttons constantly. Like, see, you fell out of the combo and you instantly start pressing buttons. And good for you. It worked out. You pressed count. You got a counter hit. But you need to start respecting pressure. Like, you can't just make it your turn because you want it hard enough. Okay, hard punch. Cool. Oh, nice conversion. Got the low. Slammed and picked up the chair. That's what I'm talking about. Slam him onto the chair is always important. You always want your chair on you. Alright, cool. You have the chair on your side of the screen. Good stuff. Also, good work picking it up and not trying to use arms. Oh, okay. Well, so much for that. And Eliza didn't deny you the chair, so it's a little bit fine. So, Leafrey, a bit of an objective against... Like, I don't really want to talk about matchup-specific things until intermediate, but I'll mention it anyway. Keep Bayo away from the chair, like you're doing right now. That's perfect. Because now Bayo takes a lot of extra chip damage whenever Bayo's blocking anything. And Bayo loses a lot of potential also. Like, Bayo can't snap, Bayo can't do all sorts of things without that chair. Well, specifically double snap. Bayo can still snap with a command grab. Nice reaction with Dynamo. Good stuff. Wolf Shoot is super vulnerable. It's something that if you're going to use in neutral, you usually want an assist to cover you, or use like the chair to make it safe kind of thing. Like, I don't know. Like, there are setups to make Wolf Shoot not horrible, but on its own, it's like not the greatest. Like, you have to be very careful when you're using it. It'll work against a lot of people, but that's not a good sign. Like, it's not... It should not be a positive indicator for you. It's like, oh, I should do it more because it's working. Like, I know that's the easiest way to get conditioned. And it's also very, very dangerous.
Crimson Scourge, you'll be wearing a crimson mask.
What else we got? What else we got?
Gentlemen and ladies, it's showtime!
What did I just say? That was more of a Blitzer thing. So, like, I mean... Yeah, I mean, Blitzer suffers the same problems. Like, using it in neutral is scary for very, very similar reasons. Yeah, Excalibella is... Just the yoink of Excalibella is really, really dumb. I just really, really hate how its hitbox does not match the animation at all. It just seems to hit anything and everything around her. You're getting really lucky with that Blitzer. Like, you haven't been lucky, but that last one, you should have been punished big time. Okay, so I don't talk about frame data until intermediate, so I'm going to talk about things in very, very high level terms. Every move has three things, right? It has startup, it's like the wind back of the punch, the active frames, the actual hitting of the punch, and then the recovery, which is you pulling your arm back after you've landed a punch, right? Like, that's the common metaphor that everyone uses. This means that if you spend a long time winding your arm back, that, like, the startup of your punch, like, if you spend a long time winding your arm back, you are vulnerable that entire time. You can get hit, and then what are you going to do? You're not going to be able to swing your punch as hard if you're in absolute pain, right? Same applies to video games, right? So every animation is like that. So you'll notice that Blitzer, Wolf Shoot, a lot of the things you're using in neutral are slow to start up. They may seem fast to you, but as you get better and better at the game, and as other players get better and better at the game, as your opponents get better and better at the game, you will realize how slow it really is compared to your other moves. You need to start getting in, and only using these dangerous moves when you already have pressure on your opponent, when your opponent is stuck blocking, so they don't have the option to punish you. If you're going to approach your opponent, use, like, what's called, like, dash block, so you're safer and you approach. Don't just use Blitzer and Wolf Shoot neutral because of how vulnerable you are. Like, there's a lot of things you got to keep in mind to not get caught like that. It's like, alright, cool, use the meter, you were able to get out of the corner, and you approached with a jumping light. Perfect. That's right. That is the correct answer. Yeah, that was good use of M-Chair. Oh, wait, Wing, you're in chat. So I've been asking people this, and I don't know if anyone answered in chat, and I apologize. If you're in the corner against Beowulf, what's the tell if your opponent's using H chair toss or M chair toss? I genuinely can't tell when the chair's gonna hit me twice. Oh, Clawmaster said sound earlier? Okay. I mean, I'll keep my ears open a little bit more, but I don't think I've noticed the sound difference. That might be. Oh, it might be a voice line thing. That's true. God, that sucks. I don't want to have to rely on voice lines. Is this 2 different lines to indicate M and H toss? I have to rely on a voice line? Man, that's fine, I guess. Okay. That was 3 games, I think? 2 games? 3 games? 3 games. Okay. So good stuff. As far as the Eliza went, like, I think it was on the right steps, or it was in the right direction. Yes, for people who play SG muted, I guess. Yeah, I know, that's just... I have Skullgirls volume very, very low, because I'm usually listening to other stuff or having a conversation with people. So that kind of sucks, but that's fine. The only sounds I need, and I turn this up way higher than everything else, is the hit sounds. Because it needs to be a song in my head, in a sense. Where it's like the order in which I'm hitting with my attacks. The reason my execution is where it is because every combo is like a song to me, like a small song. So I have this like little rhythm in my head. So I need the on-hit sounds to verify that song, but that's about it. Like, I don't want anything else on like that particularly loud. That kind of sucks, but that's fine. Regardless, well played by Hammy, well played by their opponent, Leafree. I think Leafree's Eliza, like, you're going in the right steps. You were using pretty good buttons. You were air dash canceling the lights. Like, your pressure was solid. You were mixing in grabs. Like, in terms of just all-roundedness, things were going well. Just learn a B&B. Like, consistently get a combo. Your resets, you have a bare bone resets there, almost there for intermediate. I just want to see you be able to use combos consistently and confidently. So, like, clean up your execution a little bit, practice your combos a bit more, and then we'll see where you're at next week. Also, go read the Eliza Bible. You can find the Eliza Bible by typing !guides, that's !GUIDES, and then you will see a Eliza guide, a Parasol guide, and a Beowulf guide, created by wonderful players that have been a part of our community for a long, long time. We also have a couple other guides that we want to link on here. Like, I think Sonic Fox made a guide for Philia, I want to say. We're going to add those on later. I'm collecting a list of changes I need to make to the bot, because it's kind of an annoying process, so it'll take a bit. Yeah, so Hunter versus Tallest Green, both of them are here. We are ready to go. Feel free to ready up, and we'll go ahead and get started with the next match. I'm getting messages.
Sorry, I'm out of lollipops. Gentlemen and ladies, it's showtime!
Oh, we're getting there. Oh, almost had that link. It's tricky. That looked like a combo right out of the trials. I'm not positive about that. That looked like copy paste out of the trials. Okay, got the throw. Didn't convert after the second hit, or didn't get the second hit of standing heavy punch. That kind of sucks. I think you wanted to go into launch. Yeah, okay. So you know one string. You know how to go into standing heavy punch. That is the right step. You don't know stancel combos. You don't seem to. That's not true. Hunter, I've seen you play. You have more stuff than that. I think you're trying to go into 2 hits of standing heavy punch, then go into silver cord. Okay, let's see it again. Okay. Okay. Alright, I'm gonna assume you're squiggly. You got some routing practice to do. So first of all, never use crouching light punch. Worst move in the game. It has one use and one use only. That's right. I've successfully discovered a use for crouching light punch, and it's a lot more obvious than people would think. It's used for OTG. If you have OTG and don't have any button besides light punch left for your combo, you can use crouching light punch as OTG. But it has 10 frames of startup. It is a 10-frame light. Fuck that noise, alright? So don't use that move. Don't use that move in neutral. Don't use that move when you're trying to get a hit. It is completely pointless. It's also cute, that's true. Call Robot. Okay, so squiggly routes in general, you want to go into standing heavy punch, that is the correct answer, but then you want to go into stancel combos. If you don't have stancel combos, you instead want to go into standing hard kick, and then you start doing the launch route. The idea is to avoid needing to use silver cord until you are optimizing. Silver Cord, saving Silver Cord for the end, it lets you set up for like all sorts of burst baits, lets you set up for Daisy, well, I mean, maybe not Daisy, you don't want to use Daisy at the end of your combo, but it lets you set up for burst baits and also like a Liver Mortis kind of thing for a little bit of bonus damage at the very end, all sorts of stuff like that. Saving that Silver Cord is a good habit, because you don't want to constantly be throwing that out as on your first string, because it scales your combos so bad. Good use of Daisy there. As I like to say on the stream a lot, Daisy's not a reversal. Please do not even try to use it as a reversal. It is a horrible habit to get into. It is an offensive tool only. I mean, I use it as an offensive tool, so that I'm going to give you a pass there. But in general, that doesn't work, because your opponent can't be in block stun. Or hit stun. So that should not have worked. Okay, so tall screen, in that situation, you should have just been able to jump. So the way Daisy works is unless they sing beforehand, unless they use Serious center stage, you can just hold up and always jump it. Daisy is a true grab, and that means that it is jumpable. It's a true grounded grab. And you have to jump it. And you can punish it on the way down. It has tons and tons of recovery. You just have to respect it, though. Like, if your opponent's hitting you and then they go into Daisy, just on reaction, hold up. You're probably going to be fine. There's actually no reason not to hold up, because even if they sang, there's like nothing you're going to be able to do anyway, right? So just build that muscle memory that on reaction you always hold up. There's no reason not to. Or up back, or up forward, whatever suits you and your characters the most.
Gentlemen and ladies, it's showtime!
Okay, nice use of Bomber to counter call. A big thing about having assists, since both these players have an assist, is whenever one person calls an assist, the other person wants to counter call it. This is especially true for MA Train. MA Train is tough to, or is really, really good for damage and like letting you do mid-screen mix-ups and stuff like that. But in exchange, it's not a very good neutral tool, because your opponent doesn't have to block anything, right, if they're on the ground. If they jump, they're screwed. But if they don't jump, then, like, you know, like their band just kind of comes out and says, hit me, please. Give me a hit, for reals. And then, on reaction, if you call Bomber, you can counter-call the opponent's assist, and puts it on a longer cooldown, and you do damage to band, and assists take 1.5 times the damage, so it's like, you know, it adds up really, really quickly, blah, 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 blah. Okay. Oh, you got the, alright, you got the link. We're almost there. Oh, didn't get the final link. That sucks. Jeez. Alright, Silver Cord. Drop the combo into Silver Cord. I apologize if I sound bewildered, because Hunter, it feels like you've seen the combos and you know the routes, and you're trying to do them off of memory instead of having practiced them. It's like you saw a video about like how Squiggly should be played, but you haven't actually practiced playing Squiggly yet. He said he was rusty. I mean, true. You're not wrong. But, like... Yeah, okay. I mean, you have a good point. Maybe they're just rusty, and I'll give him a break. But it's a little jank. It just feels a little jank. Okay, do not use H-Brass in neutral. Get that habit out of your system right away. That is a horrible, horrible mistake to get into. H-Brass is 5 years of recovery time, alright? Like, basically, you might as well die every time you use H-Brass and miss, okay? And if they block, then you also die. So it's like, it's not that much better if they at least block it, okay? It is a high-risk, low-reward move in neutral. Same thing with HA Train. You going for these hard reads gives you a chunk of damage, but you could have gotten a better damage if you were just safe and did, like, a crouching light kick into a full combo. Speaking of which, you all know what I'm about to say. This is true for everyone in the beginner bracket. Make sure you are practicing and learning a BNB. Type !BNB into Twitch chat. You'll find a link to the BNB compendium. These are not the most optimized combos, but they will help you practice the most common links for your character to help you level up your game and get more familiar with the character's buttons, the spacing, etc. Once you learn these, like a BNB or two, then we can start talking about more advanced topics like resets, corner carries, undizzy management, optimizing. None of that matters right now. Right now, you just need to learn your characters. And if you're rusty, then go practice a BNB. If you're not rusty and new to the game, go practice a BNB. Like, this is, you have no idea how important this is. People say in Tekken, like, oh man, look at all these bad players practicing a combo before they learn their fundamentals. Fundamentals take time. BNBs take less time. Like, significantly less time. Learning a combo lets you actually reap a reward off of having good fundamentals. So I don't understand why Tekken players say that. It makes no sense, and it's absolute garbage. Not to mention there's no proper way to practice fundamentals without like playing the game. So learn a B&B, no matter what fighting game you're playing, and then practice your fundamentals and convert off of your hit confirms when your fundamentals pay off with a B&B. This is important. I can't emphasize this enough. That was the first time I think I've voice cracked unintentionally in like years. My throat is really dying. It's over for me. Skullgirls get vocal cancer. Alright, got it. Got double reset. Okay. Sure. Alright, cool. Grab him in the corner. What's your route? Interesting. Not interesting. You put him out of the corner. Don't do that. Again, I know someone said you were rusty, Hunter, so I won't try to beat a dead horse too much, but go practice a B&B. I'm sorry, that was just funny. Okay, got into level 3. You burnt all but 1 meter. That's okay. You at least have 1 more meter resource in case you need a double snap or something. Okay, so after you H Giant Step, you should go for H Brass because they've been hit by Sound Stun. So on reaction to once you do a Giant Step, keep holding back, and then if you see them get hit, go into H Brass. That works every time. Gazi Knuckle. Okay, you went into a heavy. After you're in a heavy, you have to frame trap to try and make something safe with like a light shuriken or something like that. Try to do anything, or like maybe scan the super, but probably not that. DHC into cat heads. You have 5 meter. Oh dang! You have 5 meter. What are you doing? You have some of the best DHCs in the game. So anytime you're unsafe, like you overcommit to a heavy, go into a special, then go into a super, then DHC into cat heads. Cat heads costs 2 meter, but only costs 1 if you DHC because of the DHC discount, which is really dumb and gives you the best super in the game. Cat heads makes anything and everything safe, and also lets you basically force the game to be your turn no matter what. And if your character dies, that's fine. Bring double out and still use that 2 meter super. It's the best super in the game. Use cat heads. It is extremely important. Cost 2 with DHC technically? No. No, it does not. People theorize that will be the patch, that all 2 meter supers will not get the DHC discount and will become 2 meter supers always. That includes Hatred Install, that includes cat heads, that includes actually wait, is there anything else? That might be it actually. But nonetheless, you do get the DHC signal. It does count 2 meter with DHC technically, but you got 2 supers out of it, not 1, right? That's really, really important. And you get to safely bring in a character. Long story short, eventually it'll cost 3 meter. Oh, don't nerf my funny install move. Hatred Install is really, really good. It's just very few people know how to use it. It is extremely good. But nonetheless, you should be spending your meter like that. I did like that. Give me 1 second. The Hunter was cashing out and using their meter when they got a hit and things like that. I did like that they saved a meter for snap. I don't know if that was intentional or not, but that's good. It's good meter awareness if you are doing that. You never want to be on 0 meter as banned specifically, or honestly any character that tends to be unsafe. So you have a get me out of jail free card thing. I combined like 4 different memes at once. What the hell? But you have a get out of jail free card if you have a safe DHC. So that's extremely important. But yeah, other than that, like you seem like you guys are heading in the right direction. I liked the overall double synopsis. I liked that you went from like the strings that you were using with Valentine. You weren't using super multi-hitting moves. You were using crouching light kick and going into like launcher, which is great. You just got to start making things safe. After a heavy, you're always punishable. Might as well try to at least frame trap into a shuriken or something like that. Why the heck not, right? Is light shuriken safe? Can someone confirm that? I mean, we're not in intermediate just yet, but I kind of want to know the frame data on light shuriken. Spaghetti inputs on your part. Oh, definitely. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. There were a lot of spaghetti inputs. That being said, I'm glad that you're playing again, Hunter. I know you're rusty. I'm glad that you're playing again. But make sure you are practicing. Like, that's important. Can you have the lobby link? Absolutely. A reminder that if you are participating today, please join the Steam group chat. If you need like stuff like the lobby link or are having trouble getting into the lobby, then that is the place to communicate with me, the Steam group chat. Skullgirls Get Gr8. By the way, don't start your game yet. Please give me 30 seconds. I have to run. I'll be back in 30 seconds. Alright, we're back. Go ahead and ready up. We should be good to go. English is a pretty broken language, but I don't know, because it's such an organic language probably because of how many people speak it, that it makes it really, really interesting. Because the reason it's so broken is because how much we absorb from different cultures, right? That's why things are so inconsistent. It's an amalgamation of so many languages, exactly. So I find that fascinating.
Gentlemen and ladies, it's showtime!
Alright, cool. We got the light bomber, just in neutral, just cause. You know what? I won't knock too much on it. You can cancel into monster to convert off of that, I think. Probably. That sounds like something I've been hit by. Oh, we got barrel loops? Alright, cool. We went for a reset instead. Kinda wish you finished that BNB if that's okay. Go into Luger after that. H Luger is plus, I think. And Luger is safe. Especially if you have your opponent in the corner, there's no reason not to go into H Luger. If you want a frame trap, then you risk getting completely screwed. But you can just go into H Luger and just be plus instead. If your opponent's push blocking, then don't, because then they can PvGC, but don't worry about that until intermediate, because no one is PvGCing you in beginner. Alright, cross up. So, I'm not quite sure if you don't have a full BNB, or if you just really want to show off the Vortex. But if you did the full combo into a level 1 and then a level 3 DHC or something, I think you would have killed. Can you do that? I think you can do that, right? Level 1 into Bella level 3? be aware of how many resources you have, and be aware of your opponent's health. Start building that awareness. I know I mentioned earlier, like right now, don't worry too much about it because I don't expect you to have that kind of awareness, like in earlier matches. But as I see, like the way you're executing the combo, I can kind of tell that you're approaching intermediate level. Not quite there yet, but you're approaching it. And based on that, you like obviously learn to practice your full B&B, but building that awareness and start glancing there, so you know, like, oh cool, I could have just killed there and just dumped my meter out, you know, and then things would have been great. Is the B-grade sign up now? No, the sign up comes out usually the same day. It's whenever Penny feels like it, to be honest, but it's generally the same day. Then he has full duty on that tournament. Cool down with the jumping hard punch, no conversion. So Madden B, you got the hit confirm, but you didn't convert cleanly. Like there were 3 counter hits there, which implies that you drop your combo twice in like the first 2 strings, which is impressive in its own right. But you need to open up training mode, my dude. You've been playing this game for a minute. And, I mean, I shouldn't say for, like, not duration-wise, but, like you've been on and off on this game for, like, a little while. I really, really recommend that sometimes when you're bored or when you're watching a YouTube video or something, just open up training mode and get your combo 10 times in a row in training mode. Seriously. If you can at least do it in one direction, that's good. If you can do it in both directions, that's the next step. Like, it's time. It's time to get a hit confirm and get some damage off. Fuqua, that's especially the case because she does so little damage, right? Her Fireball Super is the closest thing to being scary when it comes to not combo damage. When it comes to combo damage, she doesn't have it. Like, she does, like, 7.8, I think, is, like, fine, I guess. That uses up all the Indizzy, and that kind of sucks. Like, it's not great. It's a rough road playing Fuqua, but that does mean that you have to be able to squeeze out damage whenever you have the ability to squeeze out damage. So that means getting your hit confirms, cleanly doing a combo, and moving onward. There was one person, I think it was TMO, who said they already know that they need to work on their combos and like so try to focus on other things. For anyone who thinks that, that's great. But the thing is, I can't focus on other things until you guys are consistent with your combos. I can't talk about set play. I can't talk about like very specific neutral spatial awareness if you guys can't even do a B&B. And I'm not trying to rat on anybody. Like I'm really not trying to be a bully here. I just can't emphasize how important it is in every fighting game. It's like playing Rock Band without like when you're holding the guitar upside down or being colorblind. You know what I mean? It's like, well, you got to be able to see the colors before you can play Rock Band. He didn't just hit her with the car. He hit her with the car 3 times. Can you imagine, like, running into traffic and then, like, just down backing to protect yourself from being hit by a car? That's that good shit. Oh, the backdash! Woo! Taking that 50-50 is scary. Flashed up to the other side. Yeah, the mid-screen vortex is so dumb. Losing track of where you are if you're dizzy. This is why it's important to learn a combo. You've kind of gotten a feel of like, oh cool, I only have 1 string left here, so this is what I gotta do. Instead of doing another loop with the barrel and then losing while you're on dizzy. I'm not sure what you could have done there besides like not done the secondary reset, tertiary reset, I don't know. Yeah, so Monster is not the best anymore. It is good still, it is fantastic. It's no longer just the best and always your answer to everything. So use Monster if your opponent's stuck blocking something like the very first tip, or the very last tip of Cilia Slide, or like under some circumstances you can do it with like after Fridge and Barrel and stuff, but like it just makes it harder to punish, not unpunishable. But you can't just throw it out there like that. Like, it's not a super you can use to mash out. Car is closest for that, but Car has to come out of a side of a screen, right? So that means it takes a minute, and that means your opponent can react and block to it. So Double doesn't have any other mash out option other than Light Bomber. Light Bomber's invulnerable. That's what you gotta do. I see Raja has mentioned that they had to back out. Something came up. No worries. Okay, cool. So that was the 3 matches. That was the end of the beginner bracket. Thank you so much for playing. Hopefully my advice helped. I'm not Penny or Kenji, but I try my best. I've been doing this for years, and I must be doing something right, because every now and then people graduate from GG8 and move on to bigger and greater things. So, probably something going on. Either that or I'm horrible, and they're just like realize that they don't need me anymore, and then actually improve. One or the other. But yeah, I hope you guys practice on things I said. Make sure you guys are watching the VODs. Make sure you guys are listening carefully. If you have any questions, if you are concerned at all, then take a timestamp of where you have a question, where you are confused about anything, or where you think that you didn't receive enough advice, and at me. We have a Discord for that. Type !DISCORD into Twitch chat, and you should get a link to the Discord. Join that Discord at me in the Skullgirls related channel or whatever, or GG8 channel, and give me a timestamp and be like, here is my question, and I'll be like, here is my answer. For people who have done that in the past, they know that I have just write up full freaking essays. I'd rather not get questions like, tell me more, or what else can I be doing, or something like that. Like, ask me specific questions, where it's like, in this specific timestamp, you said blah blah blah. What does that mean? Why should we do it? So do you give a diploma for people who graduate GG8? The diploma is being able to wear the GG8 tag. That's my diploma. That's why Yo-Yo is allowed to wear a GG8 tag now if he wants to. That's why Penny and JP wear a GG8 tag. Because that means you've stuck around long enough that, like, I recognize you and you're a good friend in some way, shape, or form. And, I don't know what else. So it's like, alright, cool, I know you, I trust you, so you can wear the GG8 tag, go advertise this for us. Go be free advertisement. You're the old friend that came back, hell yeah. How do you become a good friend? I don't know, hang out with me, just chill. Talk to me, play some games every now and then. If we click, we click. If we don't, then we don't. You know, it's the normal life of things. Speaking of normal life of things, we're gonna go ahead and get Ase versus Hace? I don't know. Man, I don't know. I'm uncultured. Hace versus Kangi. Is it Ase? Ase usually has an accent on, like, the E or something, right? Ase is an ace. Oh, it's pronounced Hace. It's pronounced ace. Hace is a word? Is it? And you had the same problem? Hooray. Is it a word? I don't know. Kangi versus Ace. You're gonna flip dip? Alright. Thanks for joining us, Hammy. Again, if you have any questions, let me know. I'm always here for you. Thanks for stopping by again. Good to see you around. Still waiting on Ace. See if I can add them. That ain't right. What am I getting wrong here? Okay. Alright, we're gonna see if I can hunt this guy down. They did pretty good last week, if I remember correctly. I don't remember. I mean, they're online right now. They're here. Let's see if I can add them as a friend or something. Oh boy. Oh no. High altitude cerebral edema, a medical condition which brain swells with fluid because of psychological effects of traveling to a high altitude. Yeah, I know what that thing is. Disorientation, lethargy, blah blah blah. Lethargy? Yeah, lethargy. Alright. This is a real gamer moment. Oh no. The University of Get Gr8. Yo, I would... That's like my end-life goal. Like, I wish to have a school named after me. The problem is I gave up on being a teacher because teachers don't make money. So, I decided instead to make it my life goal to, you know, get educators respectable and they're respected and have them making money. And then I'll worry about having the school named after me. I'll worry about that one day. That's fine, Grand Geek. I know it wasn't your intention. It always happens on accident. That's the best part. What happens if he's not here? You get an open lobby. Can we just go on to the next match? What was I gonna teach? Mathematics, computer science, logic. There's one of the most valuable classes I've ever had was in my elementary school, and it was a logic class. I've never heard anyone else having a logic class. And instead of learning math problems and stuff, you learn about problems in general, like real life problems that people encounter. And some of them are really simple, like, you know, calculating how to pay something with coins and things like that. But it basically taught us how to think about problems in different ways, and it was very, very valuable to me. Like, that's something I really wanted to teach. And just also, like, I wanted to teach, I wanted not to just necessarily to teach material, because I know I'm restricted by, like, board of educators and stuff like that, but I also wanted to teach mindsets. That's the whole reason I wanted to teach a logic class as well, where it's like, there are certain ways of thinking that are very, very good for you and your development and your success and all that stuff, and also just for the betterment of society in general. And I'm not egoistic enough to, like, write a book and preach it, but I do wish I could have had, like, an impact on, like, maybe even just one person by, like, talking about these things. After all these years, I've learned very sadly or happily, I don't know, how it depends on how you put it, that I do not think the same way most people do. And I've learned that because lots of people tell me that. And I kind of wish I could have shared my mindset. That's also why I'm a game designer, because I want to be able to create worlds to kind of demonstrate the way my brain works, right? Because it's a form of rhetoric. Rhetoric is a form of self-expression. The video games are a form of art, but it's pure creation. You get to make anything and everything you want. You get to design the world and everything. So being able to show that to somebody and having them explore your world that you create is a very interesting form of rhetoric. But I mean, we're getting way too derailed at this point. Cool. Bring up viewer. Okay. So when you go for that type of block string, Ace, whatever. When you go for that type of block string, like you end in drill or whatever, you're setting yourself up to be PGC punished. And it's intermediate now, so I can actually talk about that. That means that you cannot be doing that many hits, because if your opponent's blocking all that, they can push block, and at the end of the push block, they have all of their recovery canceled, and they're allowed to press a button. That's when you'll see your opponent flash green and press an attack, and then they'll hit you, and you'll be like, oh no, I guess I die now. You'll get counter hit, and it's a very sad time. So you need to clean up your block strings, just do one hit of a light, one hit of a medium, call it a day. At the very highest level of play, you'll do 2 hits of a light, and then call it a day. H-Giant stepping SSJ is a horrible idea. You burnt a meter, but that's okay, Kangi, you're doing fine. Just do a normal combo instead. Learn some runs. Let's see. Okay, cool. Alright. So, yeah, that was an awkward height, so I expected that to drop. But it didn't matter because they were already dead. Random question, but does Big Band have only one low? No, he has sweep. He has 2. He has crouching light kick and crouching heavy kick. Crouching heavy kick is a sweep, of course. The sweep properties means that they are an invulnerable knockdown unless you use it to convert off of an OTG. And that does mean that if you do end in a sweep, like a string in a sweep, then you're screwed, right? Like, you can't do anything after that. Like, they just bounce, tech, and then you are stuck. Like, live your life, I guess. Crouching medium kick is not low. Crouching medium kick is not low. It's a mid. Standing light kick might be a low, but I'm not honestly positive about that. Standing medium kick is only used for combo fodder. Like, it is not a very... It's used for combo fodder because it does do a decent amount of damage, but you don't normally use it, like, to mix something up. It's just a worse crouching light kick. That's a good point. I guess that does make it 3. DP, you can go into Gregor after that. You should be able to convert. Gotta learn these conversions. That is not a safe approach. I do respect the idea of being able to land cancel and that stuff. So what you need to get better at, Kengi, is flight canceling. So after you notice your opponent's blocking, like the first 2 hits of your multi-hitting like air normal or anything like that, just flight cancel and go into something else and keep going your pressure. You still have like mix-up potential there because you mix the height and like your opponent does not have enough time to react to you flight canceling. It is not a slow thing. It's not like stance charge. It's not like quickly. You have the benefits of a very, very good quote-unquote stancel. Well, it's flight cancel. It's the same idea. Raw tag. Okay, so you should have been working on not getting that kind of habit out of your system in beginner brackets, and I'm going to tell you about it right now because it's extremely important. Both of these plays, you cannot be raw tagging. Raw tagging is one of those, it's like an invulnerable reversal with way more recovery than any other normal reversal. And what that means is, you are going to be punished if it's blocked, and it's a lot easier to block than most other reversals. So you are just going to lose a character, get snapped, and then the character you were trying to get out is going to be pulled back in anyways, and you won't be able to do anything about it. And you'll end up losing a character and a half instead of just a character, right? And that sucks. You don't want to deal with that. So don't raw tag. If you're going to raw tag, make sure it is either a part of a combo or as a once-in-a-set thing. That's not once in a, like a match thing, a once-in-a-set thing. Like, it is a thing you come in to mix up your opponent. There are 2 raw tags in the game that are somewhat viable, and that is Bella, followed by Beowulf. Beowulf's is unreactable under most circumstances unless your opponent is very specifically in the corner, in which case they try to raw tag out of the corner, and then Beowulf comes from full screen, which gives you enough time to react, and even then it's still tricky. Eliza's is okay. It being an overhead doesn't actually matter that much, because, like, it's still reactable. It's like a very reactable overhead, and also you should never be using a raw tag to mix up in the first place. Like, who are you raw tagging out of that Eliza's raw tag is a better overhead than whatever you were actually doing? It's about intentionality, right? Like, you want to have the right intention. If your goal is to mix up your opponent, then you should have been going for a better overhead. If your goal was to switch characters, then you should be doing the best way to switch characters, which is like a safe DHC or something, right? There's no reason to be half and half there. There might be a reason. I mean, I'm not the best player in the world. I don't fucking know. But as far as I can tell, the intention seems like you're just doing 2 things poorly instead of doing 1 thing well. Doubles is just a ball and it hurts my brain. Yeah, no, I totally get you with that. Doubles will hit more often than it should. The answer to it is just hold back. Like, just hold back. It always hits same side. It is never a mix-up. It just tricks people's brains all the time. I get hit by it all the time too, but that's not a... That doesn't make it good. It makes me bad. That's one of those things. Okay, hard punch, SSJ, not the right answer there. Probably should have gone to Brass or A-Train first. Good grab out of that pressure. I don't know if you put PBGC'd or at least did some sort of attempt at a PBGC, but if you did, that was perfect. Well done. I didn't see the green flash, so I don't think it was a real PBGC. But it looked like a Walmart brand PBGC. Oh, unfortunately, I didn't hit. Oh, you up forward and you weren't able to react. So, this funny thing about Band's SSJ is if you're like about a couple inches on your screen in front of Band, the hit stop on Band's SSJ is long enough that you won't be able to block on reaction, even if you're not doing anything. You will just get hit if you're not blocking before Super Flash. So that means you have to be blocking in advance, A, and B, if you're really, really close to Band, you're probably not going to be able to block on reaction. That means if you're further away, though, you are able to block. In that situation, you were not far enough away. So while you did up forward, you weren't able to switch to block on reaction. Oh my god, the H-Brass in neutral. Please stop. I promise you, if your light punch gets jabbed, or I mean blocked, if your light punch gets jabbed, then you were minus. If your light punch gets blocked, then don't go into a medium. Don't go into SSJ. Take SSJs, not tech. Go into low throws. Go into tick throws. Go into a medium and just be safe. 0 points for no song. No. So this is like Kenji has a lot of disagreements with a lot of people. One of the wisest things I think he's ever said is that if you're a big band player and you're good, you do one of 2 things. You play the most beautiful song anyone's ever heard, or you play no song at all. If you play any song and it's like just like whatever, then you are not you're just bad. Like, you don't do that. And I'm not saying this is not real tech. This is me being sarcastic and kind of goofy, but like no song is the real tech. That's what I've been doing since day one. That's legit. Okay, so I talked about a handful of things there. A lot of it was just mechanics and stuff, like really, really nitty-gritty details about how certain moves work. I talked about a few habits. If any player felt like I didn't talk about them enough, because I was kind of confusing which player was which team a little bit. If any player felt like I didn't talk about something enough, then of course, as always, grab a timestamp, reach out to me, at me in the Discord, and I'll see if I can give a bit more advice. Comboing into Big Bands level 5 is dumb easy. Like, anyone who struggles with that, like, don't think too hard about it. Go into HA Train, they do 3 hits, and then then you wait a second, and then does a 4th hit, right? That's what HA Train does. So, right after the 3rd hit, enter Light Punch, then hold down, enter Light Kick, Light Punch, Medium Punch. Boom. After they fly out, you go into level 5, boom, they're dead. Like, if that's at the end of the combo, they die. If it's in the middle of a combo, then you get wall bounce and you go into crouching medium punch into beat extend. Or if you're really good, you just go straight into beat extend. And that's fine. Like, and then you just do the same thing as the Big Band's normal mid-screen combo, and it's totally okay. If that sounded tricky to you, like, I can write it down on paper and then point it at it, and it'll make a lot more sense to you. But it's actually way simpler than you think. There's not a special route to combo off of Band's level 5. You don't need to. Band's level 5 will kill if you do anything. It's bufferable? Oh, it's super bufferable. It has one of the HA Train has one of the most generate buffers at the end of its than I've ever seen in a fighting game in general. No, not everything is bufferable. So, for example, Stancils for Squiggly are not bufferable. That's why she's one of the harder characters in the game. Her execution is actually pretty tight. Other things that are not bufferable are instant double jumps, and that's because it interferes with a different buffer. So things like that will always be an issue. So, for example, jumps always have 4 frames of startup, and if you press a button before that 4th frame, then you will get a normal instead. So if you press Light Punch on the 3rd frame of jump startup, you'll get standing Light Punch instead of jumping Light Punch. If you press it on 4 or 5, maybe you actually have to wait till 5. You might have to actually wait till the 5th frame. But if you press it on the 5th frame, then you'll get jumping Light Punch. So that's important. You can't buffer that. That's just clean execution. There's nothing you can do about that. There's also manual delays in combos, which makes buffers completely pointless sometimes. But those are for the really, really good and tough combos. Okay, Teemo is here, and Huge is here. Is that the right matchup? We might be ready to get started. And double check. Teemo versus Huge. Let's go! I believe Teemo is Crunchy Loptopus. No. Wait, no, I'm dumb. Is it Huge? Yeah, Huge is Crunchy Loptopus. Okay. We good.
Time for your curtain call. Everyone good to go?
Alright, so what do we got? Got Alpha Butchers, sucks. I don't know what to say about that. Butchers is one of those things that you never want to be hit by. It's better to avoid Butchers entirely, but when you're in a corner, like dealing with Fortune's pressure, what are you gonna do, right? You can't press anything. So now you're forced to respect. Yeah, no, you cannot press a button. You have to respect Butchers. What you have to do is set up for a very well-timed PBGC and hope they got greedy, or like a very well-timed reversal. Like, there's no good answer to that. Butchers is dumb. It's not the best assist in the game by any means, but it's very, very annoying. Like, it's very effective for what it wants to do. You can also DP in, like, block string gaps. There has to be a block string gap, otherwise you wouldn't be able to call assist again. I think that's the thing, right? Am I crazy? Did I just make that up? I don't actually know if I made that up or not. But I believe if you're in a true block string, your DP, or not your DP, your assist will never go on cooldown. Or never finish cooldown, I should say. I don't know how that works. I don't actually know about that. I might have just made that up. Level 3! I'm actually just scrolling up now and seeing what all the things Rangic was talking about, like teaching and like all that stuff. So first of all, thank you for the kind words, Rangic. I really, really appreciate that. But yeah, I'm also happy that you got really, really lucky and had those kinds of teachers that like at least had at least one teacher who really try to teach you more than just the material and really try to teach you a way of thinking. People like that are too few and far in between. There are people who want to teach, there are people who are passionate, there are people who are good teachers, and those are hard to find. Yeah, double pressure's annoying. I don't know what to say about that. Like, this is just some Skullgirls routine. Like, I guess what I could say is, like, finish your combos. You're going for really early resets. Alright, so this is something I can talk about. So both these players are doing this. You guys are going for early resets. Now, I want to point out, a lot of people are like, oh my god, that reset was so good, it was so early. That doesn't mean early resets are good. The reason early resets are good, or are effective, is because your opponent's more vulnerable to them because they're bad. And the reason for that is, if you think about it, a reset has a few benefits, right? A reset resets your combo, which means it undoes damage scaling, right? It also denies your opponent meter because the longer the combo goes on, your opponent gains more meter and you gain less meter. So it improves your meter gain and decreases your opponent's meter gain, right? So those are good reasons for resets, right? But you can get that at any point in the combo, right? There's lots of points in the combo where you can do that. The reason people go for early resets is to get more of what I said before, but more importantly is to keep that undizzy bar low, right? That undizzy bar is building up slowly as you do your combo, but only after certain stages of your combo. And if you don't know how combo stages work, please reach out to me or Google it. Skullgirls combo stages are extremely important. You should definitely know that by now. If you're playing an intermediate, please look up Google. Or please look up Google. Don't look up Google. Look up or Google Skullgirls combo stages. So once you're at a certain combo stage, Undizzy starts to build on your character. It's after combo stage 3, I think. And if Undizzy's building up, that's going to reduce how much you will be able to do, how much work, how much more of your combo you'll be able to do after you reset, right? Every time you reset, the Undizzy drains a little bit, except when it's maxed out, because then it has to wait 6 frames before it starts draining, but like that's something else, don't worry about it. But when you reset early, you'll notice there was 0 green stuff in that bar. If there's no green stuff in that bar, your reset's losing half of its value, right? You're not able to drain any Undizzy when you do that reset. What the heck are you doing? Yeah, if you're an intermediate, please look up Google, it's very important. I mean, it's true. If you don't know what Google is and you're playing an intermediate bracket, you're either a savant or 4 years old. Or both? Probably both. Actually, I'm pretty sure 4 years old. 4 years old, no Google. Is Bing acceptable? Absolutely not. No one should be using Bing. It's not that bad, but it is undeniably worse than Google's AI. Yes, TMO, you play one more.
Gentlemen and ladies, it's showtime!
Okay. What did I say about Raw Tag being bad? Don't do that. You should have lost that character. Well, maybe not lost that character, but TMO, what you should have been able to do is do a full combo into Cat Scratch Fever, into rolling your head, and then like being able to play headless in the corner or something like that. That's like full bleed set play, and that's very, very effective. Like it took a game off of Sonic Fox, and I think it took a game off of Sonic Fox. I know he went in with the game plan, and it worked in like one of the Frosty Faust things, I want to say. And if he can, if it works on Sonic Fox, it works on everybody. That's not completely true. That's like a very broad overstatement of what happened, but like, or understatement of what happened. But like it's a good game plan. It's an idea. It should be a good thing to have in your arsenal. Alright, finish this combo, please. Yes. Okay, yeah, that's fine. I would have gone into the DHC and gotten the kill. So I would have done all 3 hits of that special into Cat Scratch Fever, DHC into Car, and you would have gotten the kill. You would have been fine. Reminder that you are doing 1.3 times this damage, right? In 3v3, you have 1.3 damage times like damage bonus. So you do a lot of damage. So if you think like, oh man, I'm not close enough, just remember this. Like, wait a minute, I get 30% more damage. It's fine. Just do the damage. Also huge. Holy shit, you have 5 meters. How do people get 5 meters so fast? It's so crazy. Yeah, that I don't know what to do. That's so annoying. I can't tell you what to do about that. There's no answer. I'm sorry. That's just Skullgirls. Yeah, you shouldn't have been mashing on wake up. You have to, like, you can if you're like, if you have a read. Maybe you had a read and you were just wrong. That's fine. But make sure you're not just pressing buttons for the sake of pressing buttons or being frustrated. Keep your cool. Stay calm. And pressing more buttons is not going to get you out of the corner faster. It's going to get it. It's going to make it take longer. Shatter to make sure the blocks done. I respect that. Good stuff. Fireball super, just add a little bit of damage. Okay. Okay. Good stuff. You stopped it for medium. I super respect it. After seeing so many people not do it, please keep doing that. That's good. Alright, at least you got in the H-press damage. I respect it. Didn't go into SSJ. More respect. Okay. Boom, 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 boom. Crouching medium punch, level 3. Ah, where's the level 3? My guy, you have 3 meters. Start paying attention. Okay, 8 symbols. SS. Alright, it doesn't matter. Timer scammed. Good stuff. Hey there, Graham. Why are you being attacked? You're not even here. Alright, well played. Played 3 games. Reminder here, if you're here and you, like, TMO, I think it was TMO that asked this? Yeah. We don't do a set here. We play 3 flat games. If you completely brutally own your opponent with a 2-0 or a 3-0 or whatever, there's no point in denying you guys more games, right? Because this is an advice stream. It's not a competition. It doesn't make sense. I had multiple people berate me about that during the first year, and after that, everyone else thanked me. Like, I don't know. I feel like I'm kind of happy I stuck to my guns on that. And I know Fenster for sure was like really upset. It's like, why are you doing this? Like, it should be a set, so it's more of a tournament experience. I'm like, it's not a tournament. This ain't a tournament, guys. This is school. Welcome to school. Do your homework and learn your B&Bs. TMO, you told me not to tell you, but I'm gonna tell you anyways. Get consistent with your B&Bs. I liked your incoming. That was bullshit. The freaking dash up, crouching, or standing medium punch, and then while calling A-Train is so dumb. I hate that so much. Like, that was legit. That was perfectly legit. Like, I'm so sorry to, like, huge. Like, you had to deal with that. Like, that's Skullgirls. It's 50-50. Say learn your B&B. I mean, yeah, I probably should. Like, the thing is, like, I want that, the tip bar, scrolling tip bar at the top, to be filled with, like, random, really small technical details, but no one sends me them. I'm like, I could just put my own. Like, I know hundreds and hundreds of them, but that's no fun. Like, let people decide, but no one wants to send me them. The only one that was sent to me is don't get hit. I'm like, alright, well, that's fine. The People's Elbow! There was a TK People's Elbow, too. Light Bomber. Cool, crouching like there. Lift on the DP. Alright, now you have both characters. More reason to learn corner carry or a side switch combo. Neither of those were done. There is an air dash in there, so I mean, I feel like you knew that. Like, to side switch, you have to use some sort of air dash combo. That was not one. That was not the one. In the famous words of Lightning Saber Flash, you would have won if you didn't lose. Or I would have won if I didn't. I would have won if I hadn't lost. Something like that. I know a lot of useless info, but not really tips. I mean, I'll be the judge of that. If you have useless info that you think you want to share, just send it to me, and I'll tell you. Like, for example, someone told me today that if you hit Fortune's head when she raw tags in, it apparently makes her headless? Like, I don't believe that. Like, is that really true? I haven't seen it, but no one seems... It does? In my 8 years of playing Skullgirls, I have never seen or heard that before. You have to attack her head specifically on raw tag. Nani the fuck? I'm sorry, I should be paying more attention to this set. Anyway, I don't know, there's a lot of Skullgirls happening. So this is kind of what happens in the intermediate bracket for the people who are new here, is if people are playing fine and I don't have too much to say, I'll just let them say it, or let them do the thing. I don't know if I ever finished my thought on Undizzy stuff, and I'll have them reach out to me to finish my thoughts on it, if that's the case. Oops. Alright, let's see. Round start. Lock and load using Light Bomber. Light Bomber does make lock and load safe-ish. Cool. Fever. Sliding knockdown. Roll the head. Full bleed stuff. Let's go. What I would say. You also have to do a full combo, I mean, but like, hey, it's the first step. You also gotta use the head. Oh, the TK People's Elbow that you can't do anything off of. I mean, actually, I don't know, Zolly, do you have a combo off of it? I don't actually know what you can do after TK's People's Elbow. Like, it's nice, it's an overhead, I guess, but like, what's the point? Mix-ups are nice, but they're only nice if they can give you stuff out from it, right? It cancels her catching animation part. That's so interesting. It's so weird. Anyway, that was a lot of that was some bedoodling around. Okay. Oh, accidentally card canceled. That means you dropped the combo. That sucks. Yeah, you gotta time it. Can't, so in this game, you can cancel normals into specials whenever you want. You can cancel specials into supers whenever you want. You can cancel anything into super whenever you want, and that does mean that that's not completely true. Specials have a certain cancel window, but like for the most part, that is the case, and that does mean that card cancels are constant. Right? You gotta be careful about that. Oh wow, you picked that up. That was max distance, I think. That's crazy. Good stuff. A way to combo into Big Band Tag? There's probably like some sort of monster setup or something. I don't know. Like you put them into a like H-Luger knockdown state, set up monster, and then like raw tag into Band. Band will punch him into it or something. That's got to be a thing like that. It looks like Graham and Robot seem to be saying the same thing. Not Robot. Graham seems to be saying the same thing. Bella standing medium punch too? Really? Oh, you can what? No, you can shake the stagger, right? So that's the thing. If you guys don't know this, whenever you're staggered in the game, like because of Silver Cord or Bella standing medium punch, you can shake it. You can either shake the stick left and right, or press light punch, heavy punch alternatively, like back and forth, and it'll reduce the amount of time that you're in stagger. Yeah, for real. That's why, in fact, if you play in the training mode, there's a specific training option for stagger recovery on or off. Yeah, it's still pretty close, of course, but like it makes certain links impossible. So, for example, Squiggly can do a lot of dumb stuff. Long story short, if they don't shake out a stagger, if they do shake out a stagger, you have to have really clean execution, and you can't do half the things you otherwise would be able to do. Smash is a horrible example. It's actually like any old arcade fighter. Like Guilty Gear has that, like Accent Core or whatever. Like there's lots of games. Lots of games have that. She can raw launch off a cord, but why would you? That's horrible. The idea is you want to build a bit of a charge and then go into Daisy, but now you have to build like only like 2 frames of a charge before you go into Daisy if they shake, otherwise it doesn't link. Good games. Alright. I kind of apologize, that was a little bit dry on advice. I ended up talking about a little bit about mechanics instead. If you guys like have any questions about specific interactions or ever felt like it's like, what am I supposed to do here? As always, grab a timestamp, reach out to me, blah blah blah. I will say there was a lot of dropped combos in there. If you guys aren't intermediate, I expect you guys to be able to get your combos more often than not. You like learn full combos, build that on Dizzy Bar up, go for a burst bait. Burst baits are good. Both of you guys need to burst bait a little bit more. Like, start doing that. Do the thing. Partial charge during chord stagger just makes it easier. Yeah. And building a charge and a half is always better than building a charge, right? Like that's the way I view it, right? Normally you'd be able to build a charge and a half, but now you can only build a charge. So, like, I don't know. Because normally you can just go, not only can you build a full charge after Daisy, but you can also go into sweep into heavy Dragon Bite, right? So because of that, like, you have all the time in the world to link. You have so many frames to link. And you don't need the stagger at all, really, except for the fact that you had to use Daisy. That being said, though, again, have 1.5 charge is better than half a charge. I'm sorry, 1.5 charge is better than 1 charge. Okay, Hairball Assist. Beat Extend, nice conversion. Mid-screen Vortex, gonna go same side. Nice blocks, and that's where it gets bad. So Penny has a very, very powerful Vortex off of this. I don't know, Graham, if you've been hitting up Penny. Penny played Beat Extend double for like 2 weeks, and it's annoying. So she can probably give you some tech if she remembers it. See if you can reach out to her. Snap him out of here. We can fill you back in. Onto Kamiki is going to die. Yeah, same set mix is always there, and it's always funny. But like, you just overthought it. Calling out, there's no reason to call out Beat Extend there. I don't know why you call it out. Don't do that. If you're running Beat Extend assist, you cannot be calling it full screen. This is how you end up losing your assist due to random like things. It also would extend the cooldown of your assist, right? So you might not have when you need it. So for example, like if you were calling Beat Extend full screen and then like H Spiral was hitting Big Band every time, and sometimes even the damage will add up, but even that doesn't matter. The more important thing is the fact that you called Beat Extend full screen, so it wasn't going to do anything, and now it's in a knockdown state. Like, it got hit by drill, now it's like bouncing around like an idiot. And that means all that time that Big Band is not on screen and not off screen, that assist cooldown is still locking out another assist call, right? That's important, right? I think it's universal. Like, you should be able to use standing or jumping hard kick to. Wait, after jumping hard kick. I can't tell you. Ask JP. JP's the better double player. So at JP in the Discord, you can always ask him anything about double. Penny's also a very good double player, but I think JP might have a little bit more experience because I think double has been a part of his main team for 5-ish years. Oh, we went for the fun stuff and the rejump grab. Alright, that's good stuff. Oh, one for the double reset, keeping that Undizzy low. See, this is what I'm talking about. For anyone who's like, I was talking to about the Undizzy drain earlier, notice how he's letting the Undizzy build up, and then bringing it back down. Then letting it build up again, then bringing it back down. Yeah, that makes, like, you get that feeling, like, oh no, there's a reset coming soon. I had better be ready. And it makes it predictable. But, again, when early resets work, it's because they're not expecting it, but the reason they're not expecting it is because they're bad. Like, there's a drawback. You're paying a price for resetting early. It is not the end-all be-all correct way to play. Certainly hope you don't drop combos. We'll see. But, you know, everyone has bad days, like, where their execution's just not there. And this is where I got some of the best advice I ever heard. You just gotta power through it. Like, you will have days where your hands are just not where you need them to be. But that doesn't mean like, ah, shit, I guess I'm just gonna play poorly today. It's like, no, that means you gotta spend 3 hours in the lab until your fingers are forced to behave good, even on bad days. That's how you get good. It's not fun sometimes, I get that, but sometimes it's what people need to hear. Like, just do it. That being said, of course, Skullgirls is a game, so make sure you're having fun while you're playing it. Do not beat yourself up, unless you're like trying to train to beat Sonic Fox someday or something. In that case, you're gonna have to work hard. Okay, one for throw. Nice tech. Good stuff. I got caught by the beat extend. Pick it up. You should have been... I'm not gonna lie, you should have been looking for opportunities to pull Philia out of the corner. Philia doesn't have an assist, and she can't like back up and really torment you in any way. You have the health advantage, which means you can put her in monster jail, so you can just keep on lugering her, and like she has to respect you. A. B. Your mid-screen vortex double is gonna be infinitely better than anything you can do in the corner. The corner resets are still good, don't get me wrong. Like the corner pressure is still legit on double. But this is the correct answer. Being far away from your opponent, or having her out of the corner and then being far away from your opponent, and then just lugering to space her out. Now you should be going to another monster and then spacing her out again. That was not the correct answer. You should have canceled Silly Slide into Cat Heads if you do that. If you saw you had 2 meter and you just felt like being reckless, you can press a button like that in neutral and then make it save with Cat Heads. That's the correct answer.
Okay, nothing left to see here.
Alright, good stuff. If you felt like I didn't talk about your characters enough, etc., just reach out to me. I don't know. I said a couple of things about the Philia. Fuku I didn't really get to say too much about. She died a little too quickly. But... Slide put Cat Head plus? No, Cat Head is still minus, but like... If you're gonna commit to a slide, it's better than pretty much any other alternative, right? Or like looking for a DHC out, I guess? I don't know. Pause stream, yes, please. I don't know. Actually, you know what? I don't main double. I probably shouldn't have given that advice. What is... I mean, the correct answer in that situation is don't use slide in the first place, right? I think that's the correct answer. I honestly... I guess I shouldn't advise people to use cat heads after that if you did an unsafe slide. I don't honestly know what's the correct answer in that situation if you did do an unsafe slide. I know at max distance, slide is safe if you go into monster. But that's at max distance. Again, Libubu, that's not completely true. At max distance, slide is punishable if you go into monster. If you mean slide alone, yeah, of course, slide is always punishable. In that case here, of course, you're right. Let's see, Grangik is here, so we got that. Raja said they couldn't make it. I'll fight you, Grangik. I forgot about that. I forgot that we don't have an opponent for you. Oh, actually, Clawmaster, are you still here? You said you wanted to play. I'll give Clawmaster like 30 seconds to respond. If he's not playing, then I'll play. He is still here. Oh, actually, you know what? It's been a minute since I've seen Luiwu play. You want to get in on this, Luiwu? If Clawmaster's not responding? Clawmaster hasn't said anything a bit. I'm totally fine with that. As much as I love playing, I'm always down for more games. Or just watching more games, I guess. I don't know. Am I? I don't know. I feel like I just talked out of my ass there. I would love to watch you play, is what I'm trying to say. Send you the link. Sure thing. I want to make a big shout out to people. We had a lot of people today. We had like 19 people sign up. And today's stream went very, very smoothly. Like, we've only been streaming for 2 hours and we've already finished everything. Like, this is the final set. So, thank you every single person that has been participating today. You guys really helped make sure the stream went smoothly, even with our side railing conversations and a lot of people just waiting in lobby for me to give them the go-ahead. Like, everything went well, and I really, really appreciate that from everybody. Good teamwork, guys. Thank you, me. Aw, thanks. I appreciate it. Hey there, Gtalix. Where do you send SG tips? Like, that don't get hit is just triggering. Just DM me in Discord. Give me 1 second.
This is true love we're making. Let's rock.
Here, just add me in Discord and just DM me if you have game tips. I have several that I want to add, but I just kind of want the community to add them instead. Like, I already teach people. Like, you guys can take over for this one. Yeah, it's almost impossible to punish fireball toss. It's I wouldn't try to use center sleeve. Oh wait, that's Lulu. Never mind. You know what you're doing probably. Okay. Let's see, Robo incoming. Oh, you stopped blocking. I mean, I understand that. That makes sense. Like, you would expect them to stop up at medium. I totally get that. Normally, in that situation, that doesn't cue you to press a button, because again, if they stop after a medium, they're not unsafe. They're safe. So you'd have to use some sort of armored reversal if you think they're going to keep pressing buttons. Or, like, if you're really brave, you can grab them out of pressure. But, like, that's a very risky decision, because grabs set your character height to be maxed. So if you're pulling up forwards after with medium, they can instant overhead you almost 100% of the time with the entire cast. I'm like 90% sure the entire cast can do that. Oh, that poor peacock. Oh my god. That card canceled. Yeah, alright. Ah, the misspacing! That was intense. My butt was clenched. Hey there, Doc. Good to see you here. Yeah, clown on clown action. Have a nice weekend, Leela. Glad you joined us. Lila? Leela? I don't actually know what those we sang. Hit the other dudes before they hit you. It doesn't even have to. You don't even have to. Just time them out. I don't know. Like, Stuff is a famous player who's very well known for his ability to timer scam, and it's so impressive to watch him play. Like, I always admired it. Like, I thought it was so cool how well he always avoided anything your opponent is doing on such limited screen space. We're finishing before 7 this week, isn't it great? Alright. Nice use of the anti-air thing. For those guys who don't know, light danger, it makes her top half of her body invulnerable because, you know, everything and anything about Robo is supposed to be a reference to Guilty Gear, and that of course means that everyone has a 6P, which is of course for her a light spiral, or light danger, not spiral. Nice grab out of the air. Alright, one for the early overhead. Okay, cool. We're gonna backdash and just set up projectiles. I liked that you decided to go in. Road Roller! That's exciting. Is that hitting the assist? It can't be hitting the assist, right? There's only one hit grab in the game that... Yeah, exactly, okay. There's only one hit grab in the game that hits an assist, and that's Uncharged Silver Code. So, fun fact, after Road Roller comes down, it actually counts for your cooldown for item drop. So that means as soon as Road Roller finishes, you can start charging another item. You don't have to wait for the Super Flash to go away. And that's actually how you do so much damage off of Road Roller. That's why it's so important. Robo's jumping heavy punch is Magneto's magnetic blast. I mean, on one hand I'm like, oh, okay, my bad. On the other hand, I'm just like, I don't give a fuck. Like, it's not actually essential to a mechanic. It's just her like throwing out a little fireball thing. I'm just kidding, Fedora. You're cool. Alright, we got jumping medium punch. Blocking mode for this approach save, kind of sucks. Reminder that Parasol has a sword. That means you can't deal with a lot of stuff. You gotta deal with that. Suppose you got hit by cremation instead of buffering charge. Now you're buffering pillar. There you go. You gotta hit overhead. That's the worst part about Parasol. Like, you want to be able to use DP as a reversal, and like Pillar is really, really good, right? Downside is that implies that you're almost always down backing, right? And if you're down backing to build charge, that means you can be hit overhead, and that sucks. So, I don't know how to tell you this, but I guess start working on your reaction time. I know it's been a minute since you've been playing, but it does mean that you got a lot to come. Like, you have to rebuild that reaction time. You need to start being able to react to. What is the actual name of those? Ashes to Ashes or something? Like, you got to be able to react to forward heavy punch. It's tough. Like, even some of the high level players don't react to forward heavy punch, but it's something you got to start looking out for. Yeah, 3 meter. Never really set up for a DHC. So Pika can do a lot with 3 meter depending on how you do it. I don't actually know why that worked. Were you not able to hold up? Is it because you air dash? Does air dash actually give you landing lag? If air dash gives you landing lag, I didn't know that before. But you should have been able to just hold up. Yeah, you can't do much about that though. Daisy, 2500 damage counter hit, but like, I mean, there's not much else that you really get off of that. SBO though does get a kill. So now you died with your riches, right? So I've talked about this before in the past, but you gotta start looking for opportunities to use your meter. Meter is very, very powerful, especially on a trio, right? If that squiggly is hard to deal with, just snap the assist out, right? Lock and load is giving you a lot of trouble, and like you're probably gonna want to get rid of it first. So in that situation, snap out squiggly. Like that's one use of your meter. Other uses of your meter are like just like you can do so much more damage. You can DHC out, keep like red health heals. Remember, you're on a team, so like rotating your characters is always good for you. Things like that. I wish I could point out as a very specific example, but I can't remember one from the top of my head. But if you want to timestamp it and just be like, when could I have used more meter for some reason, then go ahead and reach out to me, and then I can help you out. But you should be able to realize by now. Like just go ahead and watch your VOD and be like, I could have used a meter there. I had 4 meter and I wasn't paying attention here, so on and so forth. You thought about snapping out, but you never got that much of an advantage outside of the beginning of the first game. I mean, that's not completely true. You got a few stray hit confirms here and there. I shouldn't say hit confirms. You got a few hits stray here and there, but you didn't actually confirm off of them. But if you did confirm off of them, you would have been able to snap. I'm not telling you to practice your combos, because you should have already known that by now. That's your homework. When you come back, you should be able to do your combos a little bit better. So you can hit confirm and actually get shit off of stuff. Want to play a match with you? Yeah, sure, why not? I'll fight you. I'll fight Doc and then we'll end the stream. So enjoy the show, I guess? I don't know. What am I supposed to say to that? Also, thank you, Louie Woo, for taking the open slot. I appreciate it. Okay, Doc. I've been fighting a lot of Beowulf lately, and I can safely confirm that I've learned absolutely nothing. Beowulf still remains an enigma to me, so show me how it's done. I also don't have audio turned up enough to be able to tell between medium chair toss and H chair toss, so fuck my life. Let's go!
It's good to be out.
Why the hell is it only a sound cue? At least give him like a little sparkle in his eye or something. Okay. Yeah. I was expecting George too much. I know that. Oh. Oh. Upset. Respect for that. Oh my god, alright. Fine. I don't know, I was having fun. I don't know what to do in that distance. It was a weird spacing. well. Very well. Okay. Oh my god, I tried to chicken ball flying cancel that. Really, really late. Or early? I think the answer's early. This isn't good. What? Oh, I gotta get mail. Okay. Dang. Sucks. Nice.
Okay, nothing left to see here. Let's have another. Ready?
Chat, I'm relying on you to give advice to Doc, because I'm actually trying to play the game. It's not bad. Oh my god. I already used up the system. Okay. Oh, okay. Conversions, though. Nice, man. See, this is why you don't want that. That's exactly why. Now snap. Boom. Boom. Alright, never mind. And you got a hit. Did I just die? I think I just died. Oh my god, I didn't use that split. This is spaghetti. Very well. Okay. I don't know why I used that super. I should not have used that super. That was bad. Okay. What? How did I get SSJ? I did light press. Video game? is time to stop. Okay. That's one game apiece, I think. Right? We'll play one last one. Game 3. I know normal sets are 3 out of 5, but this is still GG8. Play 3 games no matter what.
Try to keep it cute, huh?
I was honestly afraid that you were gonna do a big brain just round start into your super. Still got screwed, but... Okay. Oh no! Damn it! Very well. This is problematic. That's the wrong one. I don't know what to do. Alright. Oh my god. Oh my god. I have to play this character? Oh my god. Oh no. Whew. Good games, Doc. Good games. Let's see what chat said. I mean, half expecting copy pasta instead of advice. We'll see. Squiggly poops on Bayo? Just defensive until chair toss, then you can go completely ham. 1v1, yes. With an assist, I don't see that working. But then again, or P-Pie, I don't know what we call you these days. The P-Pie, yeah, you're much more knowledgeable than me, so there's probably stuff you don't know. I just have always not researched the Beowulf matchup for Squiggly. I only recently started looking into it, and it feels like with an assist, that's not really an option, but I'm not honestly positive about that. What else? What else? This is why you don't raw tag this game. It does the exact same thing. I only did it twice, and it was a very conscious decision. The second time I saw an opportunity and I took it. GG's, Doc. Let's see. I thought SSJ with a taunt had a wall bounce. No. Only level 5 has that. Yes, you were wrong this whole time. Toilet paper. Yeah, don't use toilet paper so much. It depends on Bayo's assist, but most run in A-Train, you can pressure hard when he's chairless. Okay. I also don't know how many A-Train teams actually throw away chair, though. Like, normally at the end of the combo, they just pick it back up, right? Like, how many... What kind of set play requires you to throw away chair and keep it off? I don't actually know. I'll pay more attention to that, though. I'll see how many times I fight a Bao that get rid of chair, and I'll see if I can take advantage of it. Thank you. I feel like everyone's giving me advice and not Doc. I mean, alright. That's fair, too. Oh, no, I guess they did say don't teleport as much. Thanks, friends. You do it almost instantly because your favorite front starters H does. You only did it... Did you do it at all? You might have done it the first game, but that's it, right? I don't actually remember you doing it. I don't know. Whatever. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us for Skullgirls Get Great. If you like what we do here and would like to apply the skills that you are practicing that you've learned on the stream and all that stuff, then sign up for our Wednesday weekly tournaments. Skullgirls Be Great every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central, etc., etc. Next week is the prize pool tournament. There's no fee to enter. There's just money on the line, so free chance at money. Enjoy the tournament. I request that when you join, you have the best connection possible. You're playing on Ethernet, etc., etc. Not a hard requirement. I know a lot of people give me a lot of flack for that, and I understand that. But I just want to encourage it. Like, it is absolutely important that you do so if you can. Other than that, I don't know. Like, if you're just here for the advice, then fear not. We do go live every Saturday at 3 p.m. Central, 4 p.m. Eastern, etc., etc. The following Saturday, there will not be signups. It will be the lab stream. That means Penny will come on stream and answer all of your guys' excellent questions on stream and lab it out and show you exactly how you could have learned it yourself. Or am I sending you? Oh, I don't know. I didn't think that far through. Should I send you guys somewhere? No problem, Doc. Let's see. Anyone got a request for a Skullgirls stream? Quinn? Osaka A? Let's see. Quinn? We got Osaka A. Wow. Oh my god, I hear myself. That's a problem. How do I stop that? How do I make it stop? Quinn? We got Osaka A. Wow. Okay. I figured out how to make it stop. Jesus. Screw you, Twitch. Stop having an autoplayer. I really hate that trend. I'm obsessed just having the autoplayer. I hate it. I don't see Quinn, so I'm just gonna have to... I'm gonna say Osaka A. I can't do it from here. Okay. So / raid Osaka _A. There are only 2 others happening, and somehow in some way we're the most viewed one, which is great! That makes me happy. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining our stream. Have a wonderful day. You guys are wonderful, and for those of you guys who are new here, welcome to the SGC. Bye-bye!